Today we take a journey aboard the SAM 26,000, the first Air Force One jet ever specifically built for the President of the United States. The aircraft, a modified Boeing 707, served as a flying command center for several presidents and was a powerful symbol of American history and global diplomacy. Seeing it up close was like stepping into the pages of a history book, except the history was right in front of me. Aluminum, leather, and filled with the echoes of historic moments that happened on this very plane. I was able to board the SAM 26,000 at the National Museum of the United States Air Force in Dayton, Ohio. The museum itself was impressive, with massive hangars filled with aircraft from every era of aviation, but if you know me, I was especially drawn to the Presidential Gallery where the SAM 26,000 is housed. As I approached the aircraft, its clean lines and classic blue and white look stood out immediately. Really, words can hardly describe what history has occurred within its very walls. Walking through the plane was surreal. The interior was a mix of vintage and functional, part office, part command post. There were several conference rooms where critical decisions were made, a small medical area, and even a communications center. Most striking to me was the modesty of it compared to modern jets. Despite its status, it wasn't exactly flashy. It was clear the focus was on utility, security, and reliability. Perhaps the most unbelievable fact associated with this plane was seeing the spot on board where President Lyndon B. Johnson took the oath of office after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. If you remember this famous photo, it occurred right here on this plane. That moment, captured in one of the most iconic photographs in American history, took place right inside of this aircraft. Being inside of here made that chapter of history feel, just incredibly real and personal. Overall, my trip to see the SAM 26,000 was more than just a museum visit. It was a journey through decades of American leadership, crisis, and resilience. It deepened my appreciation for the presidency, aviation history, and for the quiet dignity of a plane that carried so much responsibility through the skies. It was very nice. I'm very glad to be able to see it. This Air Force One plane was the primary means of transportation for three American presidents, Kennedy, Johnson, and Nixon. Lyndon Johnson was the plane's most frequent flyer, and it would even carry his body home after his death. The last president to ever fly on the plane was Bill Clinton when it was used as a backup. I tried my best to capture the inside of the cabin. The way it is designed now, you've got to walk through a very narrow path with plastic partitions on each side of you. Plus, there are people in front and behind, so we did the best we can. Have any of you out there ever visited the National Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio? If not, you most definitely should. All of my videos are historic in nature and mostly visiting famous graves and cemeteries and also historic locations just like this. Once again, from Dayton, Ohio at the National Air Force Museum, I will see you again soon.